It's time to mind your business with me, Jamillah Lodge. Tune in to find out how to mind your business with BEDC, special guest entrepreneurs, industry experts, and more. Brought to you by BEDC. Bermuda business starts here. So welcome back to Mind Your Business. Of course, I'm Jamillah Lodge. I'm going to be your host for today. And you're Ondreyah Rochester.
Yes.
Now, you work for BEDC, but today
yes,
we're going to be talking about you as an entrepreneur, your founder and CEO of 1111.
Yes.
So welcome to the show in this capacity. You're welcome. So you're usually on the other side, supporting entrepreneurs and helping them build their business. But today we want to talk a little bit about 1111. So firstly, what is it? And what made you decide to start this business?
So 1111 is a luxury online shoe boutique. That's how I'm branding it these days. And I wouldn't say starting, I'm restarting now because I previously I still earn 1111, but it previously had its run and it came to an end. Well, pause, sorry. And now I'm back at it all over again.
Okay. And why shoes?
Because I just feel like in Bermuda, it's nowhere for me to just pop up and say, I need a shoe. I'm going to go to Axe store. Like everybody has different trends, and then the shoes you probably want, you have to bring in, and you have an immediate need for right now for shoes. And even though I took a pause, I realized that it was still space for me because nothing had changed in that scenery. So I said, you know what? It's time. Let's go round two.
Okay. So I'm going to assume that you have a passion for shoes and unique shoes. Is that kind of what made you say, let me go ahead and start this business? Because I'm sure there's others that share that same passion. Talk to me a little bit about that.
So for me, every time I get dressed, I always feel like something that I have on has to be the statement of my entire outfit.
Okay.
So if you just have loud shoes or nice statement piece shoes, then the rest of your outfit could just be
simple.
Simple because your shoes do all the talking.
So in terms of the business model that you're using, it's online. And was that a choice that you made specifically? And if so, like why?
Well, using both sides of my personal and professional life, we always feel like we need a brick and mortar. And no, we don't, because I don't want to pay no bills. I don't want to pay no rent. I don't want to be responsible at this point in my life for someone else's security by having to pay staff. So to keep my costs as minimal as possible and as much profit in my pocket as possible, online was just the best idea. It does have its downfall because, people want to try on stuff and see stuff before they buy it. So it does, in return, add more energy to me because if something doesn't fit, now I'm going to drive all the way to your house or wherever I dropped your shoe off versus now you coming into my store and just saying, can I exchange this? But you have to be realistic. Not to say that a store is not in my foreseeable future, but as of right now, online was the best platform for me.
Okay. So as a MSME officer, so that's micro, small, and medium enterprise officer, I'm sure the same kind of advice and guidance that you give to others when they're starting business kind of apply to yourself. But you know how sometimes when you're in the space and you're teaching and you're telling people what to do, you fall into the trap of not taking your own advice. Can you talk a little bit about that and how even being in the space has helped you as a business owner?
So, I've been at BDC a very long time. I started from the bottom. I always say this when I'm here. But I never wanted to be in this space. I never wanted to be an entrepreneur. Sitting on the front line, you got all the phone calls. I got people mad, upset. I can't make payroll. I need to learn. I need this. And I'm like, who wants to live like that? That is a crazy life to live. Like, I need to know that at the end of the month, that paycheck is coming in, that health insurance is covered. I don't have time to be running those risks. And then as time grew and then I started to actually fall in love, like, how are you sitting here giving people advice that you don't even follow yourself?
Right.
It just didn't feel authentic to me. And everything for me is about feeling authentic. So that's when I first started. I have 3 businesses. So I've gone through the process. But now taking this gap from 1111 and coming back, obviously I had to start from the beginning. So processes have changed from the last time to now. So now my client conversations are really different because I just did this. Like, I literally just did this. Things are different, and I can really explain to you step by step by step what you have to do. So it's just really real conversations that I have with my clients.
And I think it's good to hear you say that, because I think telling somebody about something that you've never experienced is different.
It's
and like you
different.
said, you were there when you first started. You're telling people what you learned and the things that, but in practice, it can be different.
Yeah.
So the book says step by step by step, but in reality, you might have to go step by backwards by step, right? And so I think you having that first hand experience of what's required to start a business in Bermuda does make the conversations you have with your clients and people who come for support
A lot different.
a lot different.
And then just being able to take advantage of the different courses that BDC provides also had me using it now and implementing it in this go around. So, for instance, the Ice House, what we call the Ice House now?
The Think Like an Entrepreneur.
Think Like an Entrepreneur. So the whole testing your business idea. And I sit in that class. I teach that class. I used to teach it. So it was always like, you have to step outside and ask people that's not your friends. That is something that I really took to heed in this go around, to not ask people I know. I did, but I also asked people that I normally would not ask these questions, because I really needed real solid answers to make sure that this time around I was doing things properly. So different pieces of BDC played its role in how my new round 2 has been shaped.
And it's interesting to hear you say that, because like I mentioned before, you're teaching it and you tell people what to do.
Telling you what to do, but not practicing what I preach. That's not real.
and then you just go along and do something different. But I think you're absolutely right in terms of validating the fact that the thing that you want to do, or whatever it is that you want to sell, people actually want to buy it, right? I think you're like, I like this, so surely everybody else, but everybody else might be your auntie, your uncle, your cousin, and that's not enough.
That's not the risk they're taking
to sustain a business like the 3 people. So talk a little bit about some of the challenges, I guess, that you experienced in the first go round that maybe you kind of figured out how to work through this go round.
So first round was just wild. It was just all over the place. Honestly, I could speak about it now because people don't speak about this part. It was just terrible. I'm gonna be honest. Like, obviously, I made my sales and I made my money back, but efficiency wise and process wise, it was just all over the place. So I had this thing, like, I would go online to my vendor and I would see a shoe and I'd be like, I like that, but that shoe would just come in like a 6, 7, and 10, and I would just buy it. And then let's see another shoe, and I like that, but it comes in a 7 and a 9, and I just bought it. So I didn't have full stock. So now I have a 7 and a 9, but the people that are interested in the shoe are 6 and 11. So I just had all sorts of different shoes, different stock. I also was just delivering any time of the week, like just all over the place. And I'm just like, that's what made me fall out of love with what I was doing, because I'm just like, it's not being received how I want it to be received. I like this shoe. How come they don't like this shoe?
Right.
What's wrong with them?
Right.
Right? And I was like, it's not about what I like.
Yes.
That's the problem. It's not always about what I like. It has to be, because I have to be true to myself, but I have to have a compromise of what I like and what they want.
Right.
So because I've had that break, I've had a very long break, I've had time to go through different things that I felt were wrong, and I'm hard on myself, so it was a very long list. But it wasn't what was wrong, it was how can I make an opportunity out of the things that I thought was wrong. So no, I don't have shoes all over the place. If I have a style of shoe, that specific shoe now comes in a 6 to 11. So everybody has a first shot at this shoe. I also only have one of each size, because I don't want fast fashion where it's a million people in Bermuda
wearing the same
thing. That's not what I want. So that was different things that I put in place. Deliveries, starting days of the week, 2 days of the week. That's it. I'm sorry, but I have to now put things in place where I love my business, but I also have time for myself and my daughter and all the other things that I got myself into. And it's not just 11.
So what I hear out of all of that is processes.
Yes.
And so, you know, you love something, you're like, oh, I want to do it. And then it was a bit all over the place at first because you're feeling your way, you're finding it out. And so through the lessons learned, you've understood that processes can create balance, stability, right?
Yeah.
You know, on this day, this is what I'm doing from this time to this time. And that's when you get the, and funnily enough, I know, like, I've had conversations with other retailers and they're like, oh, I got to do all the things, provide all the things, deliver all the days because that's what my customers want. But if you tell the customers up front,
This is how it goes.
They will be like, okay.
Yeah, I literally drop on the 11th of each month. So I'm not just got shoes all over the place.
Right.
I'm literally targeting because, like I said, I don't want to be all over the place. So every 11th of the month is when I would drop a new collection. It don't work. And when entrepreneurs force that on themselves to try to make all these things work, because obviously you want your brand to succeed, you burn out.
Yeah.
And that's what happened to me. And it's never going to happen to me again because I've put policies and procedures in place. I know my weaknesses. People probably see me and she's such a businesswoman. She does everything so great because I do everything so great because what I don't do great, I outsource. I don't even have time to pretend. I know my numbers.
Yeah.
I have a strict spreadsheet, every penny, and I know a lot of entrepreneurs overlook this. Every single penny is accounted for in my spreadsheet, which is why my prices are not my price. I mean, the gas that it took me to go pick that package up and drive it to my house, the energy it took me to lift my packages up the steps and unpack it, my light bill from being on my laptop.
Yeah.
Like, literally everything is accounted for in this new price. But having an accountant to say to me, okay, this month you can only buy $600 worth of stock. Because if I don't have that, I'm going to buy $1,500 worth of stock. Hey, you have these
and then you'll be
subscriptions this month. Just to reel me in. Marketing, I have all the grand ideas. My marketer would tell you that I send her PDF documents, this I can guess like this, and she loves it. But that's me still being able to do what I love, but allowing somebody else to create it so that I can do what I do, find the shoes,
do the
website, those things. And yeah, my daughter works for me.
I love that.
Yeah, my daughter works for me.
So I want to talk more about how you came to the realization that you couldn't do it all and didn't have to do it all. Because I think a lot of entrepreneurs struggle with that because there's a cost associated with outsourcing it. And I think sometimes the focus is so much on what has to come in that you don't understand that if you offload some things, you could potentially make more coming in. Like, it's not common for them to understand that. It's just, I see that as money going out, but not understanding the correlation between outsourcing that and creating the opportunity for you to earn more. Can you talk more about that?
I'm going to use a real life example. So I have people and they're just like, you spend so much money on marketing. You're up all night coming up with ideas. And I'm just like, you have to spend money to make money.
Yep.
And sometimes when you spend that money, it comes back triple filled, because if I don't have to spend my time pretending that I can do my own account or pretending that I can make a flyer on Canva, I could be doing what I really need to do because I spent that money there. So I'm making more money because I'm really got time to do more of what really makes the money. I make the money. I can't pay them if I'm not making the money. So me having more time to just really make money allows me to outsource, allows me to support other small businesses with my services or my business per se.
Exactly. I always say it's like a cost-benefit analysis. And you mentioned like your spreadsheet. And I do think for those entrepreneurs who are starting out and they have that kind of mindset where I can't afford to hire anybody yet because that's an expense, if you take the time to sit down and look at how that expense could potentially allow you to go get the money, then you can cover that and make profit. So it's really sitting down and doing that kind of work beforehand before you actually say, okay, I'm just going to go. Because pretty soon you'll be on the hamster wheel just spinning, right?
Giving too much.
And you're like, where's the money? What do I have to show for it afterwards? So you said you took a pause, right? And I just want to know and you said you're reclaiming 1111. So what does that mean, firstly? And then secondly, how have your customers received you? Like, did they miss you? You still got the customers that you had before? Like, what kind of experience is that?
So with this reclaim, Jay,
Yes.
I really made it my priority to be myself.
Okay.
So I think that's why I've really fallen in love. Like, it feels like love at first sight, because I've now really fallen in love with the brand. I've made the brand myself. You know, Jay, I would say some wild things. She'd be like, where'd you come up with that? Why she talks like this? It's me. Like, when you read my descriptions and everything, it's so me, the name of my shoes and everything. The pause was needed, Jay. The pause was needed because I just felt like previously I was marketing to everybody. I wanted to have the right voice. I wanted to be able to target older people and younger people. You can't talk to everybody. That's another thing that I've learned during this whole process. I'm not going to be for everybody.
Right. Right.
Look at some people's going to come on my side and be like,
Yes.
this is not nice. It may not be nice to you.
But it's nice.
But it's nice to someone else. I also think the build-up of how I'm posting things on social media is also bringing more people in. So while some people are still walking with me, I have people that just put in their footsteps into 1111 at this point as well. So it's just time. Things take time. We expect. I open today. I want everything still today on the first scale. You make these expectations, and that's probably what disappoints people a lot. Because you could post things and you could be like, I love that. And you think just because you told me that you love it, when I go to sell it, you're instantly my customer.
Right. That's not true. That's not
Being
true.
real with myself, I think, has really helped this new energy that you will see with the brand.
So I'm going to use another word that I feel like I'm hearing you say, and it's about authenticity and being authentically who you are and not being apologetic about that. And understanding that, you may not be for everybody, but you don't need everybody, right? You're for those who 1111 resonates with, right? And I think that's okay.
Yeah.
And I'd like to talk more about how sometimes people can get discouraged from starting a business because they think maybe the market is already saturated. Like, how many more people gonna sell shoes, right? So talk to me about the differentiation. You mentioned your own authenticity, but some of the other things that you think differentiates 1111 from any other shoe brand that you can find on the island.
Jay, my extraness, my packaging. I know that that's what's going to set me apart from any other shoe brand on this island. I unapologetically price my stuff due to that spreadsheet. That spreadsheet allows me to see some shoes that don't even bring these in because the price you're going to have to pay, no one's going to pay it. That spreadsheet allows that. So because I have now decided to charge my value and not that Bermudian mentality of what do I think someone will pay. That dumbness. That's so dumb to me. I'm sorry, that's really dumb. What you think people will pay, because you lose so much money with that mindset. So because I've priced my stuff accordingly, according to my late nights, according to all the research I've done, my packaging, I have made sure that it makes you feel like your money was well spent. It's not just a plastic, thank you, big, and go on about your business. I've intentionally made sure that I stand out with the way in which my things are presented to people, because it's an experience. I want you to feel just like if you go on Fashion Nova or any of these websites, I want you to know that you can get that in Bermuda.
And I think the thing that you're saying, and I hope that people are listening, is that you have to identify and create your own value. And I know I've seen it when I used to meet with clients and talk to clients. People will be like, oh, things cost too much in Bermuda. I want to provide the thing, but for cheaper. And then when you do your spreadsheet and you take into consideration all of the costs associated with you bringing that product in or delivering that service, you recognize that, well, if I do it cheaper, what am I? I'm going to be doing a charitable
Yep.
service. You know what I mean? Where it's not going to be profitable. And I think that is sometimes a hard pill to swallow.
I think they just make it hard to swallow. I think we as Bermudians, we put a lot on ourselves. I just had this conversation with a friend of mine who's in business the other day. She paints, and she was saying, you know, some people consider my price to be too high. And I said, but then you have people that will lowball you to get that price, but your high price will allow someone's house to be painted one time with quality.
Right.
This lowballer, they now probably would have to pay twice
to get it done right.
Repainted again because something went wrong. So they could have paid you in the beginning. So it's not really about how high your price is, right? Because how you would take one job at $5,000, you got these lowballers out here just to cut the industry that's got to take 15 jobs just to make your $5,000. So it's not.
And again, it's back to value.
Yes.
So I'm not going to buy an expensive paint to paint the house if I'm only charging $1,500.
Shortcut. If you take shortcuts, you will be cut short.
Yeah.
I've learned that from school in Jamaica. That's all my teacher have said. If you take shortcuts, you will be cut short. So unapologetically, back to the price, Bermudians have to start charging their value because we have some really nice things. And I never knock off from work, and I'll be going into stores. That's cheap. That's not priced right. And I'm like,
you're looking at things completely different now.
And I would be the first to tell you, why is this price?
Yeah.
This is not right.
Yeah.
I'm always doing that to somebody on my WhatsApp. They post, why is that price? How did you get there? That's too low. Think about it, because we undercut ourselves so much just to satisfy what someone else is going to think, or they're just not your customer.
And that's fine to say.
Yes.
Like in some of the teachings and things that we've learned, it's okay that not everybody is your customer.
It's fine.
But your customer is out there. And the one thing that you don't want to do is set yourself up for failure. And I do think a lot of the entrepreneurs that we have that come in and seek advice do that initially because they're trying to keep the price low and all that. When our reality is we live on an island. We gotta bring everything
and
in.
duty price is wild to an entrepreneur's bottom line. That shipping and duty, God forbid.
And exactly, like that's a whole different conversation that needs to be had, because it plays it impacts the business directly.
Yes,
right. That's a cost before you even sold anything that you as the entrepreneur have to cover. And so straight away, you already know, right? You already know that has to be factored in. So business owners and entrepreneurs do themselves a disservice if they approach the reason that they're starting this business or selling this thing is because they find that it's too expensive in other places. So don't be afraid, like you're saying, to charge what you need to charge. And make sure that you're delivering value for what you're charging.
Don't try to charge me something crazy and you knew you paid 2 cents for it. Yeah. And I could go pay 2 cents too, right?
Right.
So it's just like, if you're going to have something that someone else can get, make sure that it has a different feature to it that person, like, there's a million people doing the same thing in Bermuda, but we all support who we want to support, but we have our reasonings. Maybe it's how it's packaged. Maybe it's how fast they deliver it. Maybe it's they have different places that it's located, so they have more access. We all have a different way of doing things, and that differentiation will be what will make people patronize you because you're different from everybody else. And Bermudians go for a feeling. Yes. They love how things make them feel. That's why I always tell people it's important. Your marketing is important and your packaging is important, because we always go for how something makes us feel.
And that brings me to kind of my next question around an experience, right? So even though you're selling a retail product, how do you incorporate providing your customer with an experience when they purchase or decide to purchase 1111?
So like my emails are not like just the generic emails that a website would send you. Like I've literally gone through them and I've personalized everything. So everything just feels so personal. Like it almost feels like I refer to them as my soul sisters. Yeah. Like this, my soul society. It's my soul sisters.
You get it, SOUL and SOLE?
Yes, and I am the soul boys. So I make it feel like we are really part of an exclusive society. And that's what Bermudians like. Things that feel exclusive or hard to get.
Okay. Well, I'm here for it. So talk to me about, because I'm looking at the logo, that's 11/11. Talk to me about that. What does it mean?
11/11. I have it tattooed on my wrist. It's my favorite time of the day. Like, it just always finds me, and it's angel numbers. So I always manifest things when 11/11 comes. Before, my logo used to be like a heel.
Yes.
And I was just like, I want to be a unisex brand. So I don't want to look like I only cater to the women when sometimes I do have things for guys. So 11/11 just felt more of like a manifestation. Make a wish. Another great place that you feel like you want to be in, right? Like Manifestation Avenue. So that's where I came to 11/11.
Okay, I know. And sometimes you're like, it's 11/11.
Yeah,
make a wish. And it's funnily, I always, if I look at the clock and it's 11/11, I always do that. And that's because of you. All right, so we've talked about authenticity. We've talked about the fact that the brand really represents yourself, and you've reignited your passion, or reclaimed your passion for the brand and for this business. So talk about some of the things that you're most excited about, like some upcoming, I don't know, drops. What are the things that you are really looking forward to?
So with 11/11, I've been posting, but I've only been posting on my Snapchat and my WhatsApp, like actually stock. And to see people's responses, like yesterday I posted something like within like 12 minutes, I had like 36 comments, like 36 matches. And I'm like, wow, like people are really starting to really feel, because they can see that I've taken time for myself to really make this brand be bigger than what it was and be something that's now a legacy and not just another business.
Right.
So, like, I have really took time to pick things that I know you ain't going on Shein to find.
Right.
Like, I know this for a fact. You're not going on there to find. And it's quality. Very quality pieces. I have this one boot, and it started off as it wasn't a joke, but my friend, she likes expensive things. So she likes Doc Martens. And she showed me this boot. And I said, I like that. But give me a chance to recreate this boot for you. So she was like, okay. I was like, yo, give me 3 weeks. And I recreated the boot, and I bought it in, and I just posted it as a joke. Like, look at this boot I created for my friend. Isn't it so cute? Film blew up. And I gave it to her, and she was blown away at how I, like, really changed this boot around. I had boys calling me, hi, I need this boot. I need it now. I want to wear it here. I want to wear it Coachella. And I'm like, this boot wasn't supposed to be anything in my inventory.
Right.
So I'm really looking forward to that boot in particular, because that'll be the only boot the only shoe in my first drop that I actually tweaked and made my own.
Right. So that, I didn't know you did that. So can you talk a little bit about the whole kind of design process or artistic process that you take with your shoes? I just assumed that you found them through a vendor and then you took what they had. But it sounds like it's a little bit more than that.
So my first go, I designed 2 shoes, 2 custom shoes, one called Genesis and one called Moo. Genesis was a strappy heel, and Moo was a cowl print boot. So sometimes my friends would just come to me and be like, hi, I want something that looks like this. And I'd be like, okay, let me see what I can do. And I would get a sample. Samples are always the most expensive. But I would try it out, and we would just see what happens. Like my friend told me yesterday, I need something, but make it Christmas. And I'm like, okay. Okay, we'll see what we can do. But I like that part of 11/11, but it takes time.
Yes.
It takes a lot of time, and it takes a lot of money. So again, being strategic, I had to start with my trusted vendors and buy my boots. But again, it's still unique because I only have one. But with this boot in particular that I tweaked, I have multiple because it's a design that is unique to me.
So I want to talk to you a little bit because you mentioned some of the other fast fashion brands, and I have heard creators complain about things that they've created like from scratch, and then 2 seconds later they look and they see their picture from their website on the fashion brand site and they're selling it. How do you protect your IP? How do you manage that? Because that's a reality, especially as an online business, right? You're promoting your stuff, you're putting the pictures up. So anybody
It's free
could,
game.
yeah.
So that happened to me, and I think that's probably what really made me stop 1111. My mood boot, I took time, a lot of time to create that boot, to have removable chains, and my vendor sold the design to Shein. So whereas it wasn't exact, it was very much similar. And then people started to message me, but like I had a bright orange zip in the back. That's why I said I always do things that are just, you wouldn't think about doing, but you still sold my design to them. So it hurts, right? And then it's like, well, you feel like you're so small. Now I'm going to get a lawyer involved because now I need to get something drafted up for you to sign on. So now it's made me sensitive to that creativity space because I'm scared.
Yeah.
What are you gonna steal next from me, right? Because people that have access to more money work faster.
Yeah, they do.
So you could have seen my little sample somewhere that I'm posted, and you got more money than me, so you could go put that in production tomorrow. So what I've learned now is that I only post on places where I feel protected. So I know on Snapchat who watches my stuff. I know who screenshotted it too. Right? Because I don't want to post on Instagram and then someone else that sells shoes in Bermuda now, because that's happened to me before. I bought in this boot before. It was exclusive. I was the only one that had it. It went so well, I was able to restock it 3 times. And then I said, that's it, because that's now too many people
with
out
the same
there
boot.
with the same boot. And another 2 businesses bought in the same boot and charged way more than me. And it was just like, what?
Yeah.
So you have so many things that could make you say, you know what, I ain't got time for this. I'm giving up. And it probably looked like that as well, but I wasn't. I was recharging and refilling my cup. So when I came back with purpose.
Okay. I received that. And that is a good segue into going back to talk about something you mentioned earlier, the Soul Society. And I think it aligns with how you're doing things now, right? Like you said, you are kind of curating who you're going to be sharing your creations and creative art with. So talk about the Soul Society community, how you're doing that. And like, what do you got to do to be a member? All that kind of good stuff.
So the Soul Society is literally just going to my website, axi.shoes, and you register to be a part of the society. They got early drops.
Okay.
So let's just say I'm launching 11/11. They might get access at 9/11.
Okay.
I might just throw it out there where they got access for 11 minutes. They got free shipping. They got to see the stock before everybody else. And then I use my Soul Society to pick my sample people. So a lot of people's gotten mad at me right now because they see shoes out. And people's like, where did you get them from? And they're saying 11/11. But I strategically watch people. Not like that, because you know Bermudians, but I look at people's style. And I look at the shoes that I'm bringing in. And I'm like, they will look good in that shoe. Let me give a sample to them so that my shoe could get out in the streets before it actually launches. So I really look at people in my Soul Society and move from that. So anyone that's thinking like, you know, just another subscription, another emails I'm not emailing you every day because I don't like to be emailed every day. Right. So being a part of the Soul Society gives you perks that other people won't have access to.
Yeah. It's interesting because I was in Detroit when I went to the IEDC conference. And I went into Savage Fenty, Rihanna's store. And so I'm like, ooh, 2 bras for, this amount, this and that, girl. At the bottom, members only. See? Like, you see what I mean?
You're going to take that fin off because you want that percentage off, and you're going to do it.
Yeah. I mean, but it's a whole different business model, different way to think about things. Which brings me to my next question, which is around new business practices, AI, technology, all of those things. Like, how are you utilizing these new tools to support the reclaiming of 11/11?
So I want to be real. Okay. I love it and I hate it.
Okay.
It's twofold. So I love the accessibility. If I just want to polish something up, I can quickly go to little bots and, Yeah. But I hate it because it's taken away from people who actually live in this creativity space or this creative space. So it could take a job away from a photographer because no, I don't need to use you.
Right.
I can just go in here and say, look, make this, look like this, feel like this, and all that photographer has less work. So I love it and I hate it. It takes money away from people that live in this space. And then it also makes my life more efficient.
Yeah.
So it's twofold for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, but I think it goes back to what we were talking about when you were mentioning your authenticity and like the things, being purposeful about the decisions that you make and knowing when
Yep.
to use it and when not to, and making a conscious decision if that is important to you, if the art and creativity and working with other entrepreneurs in that space is important, then you have to.
I share it because I love community. I love working with other small businesses, and they have a platform that I don't have, and vice versa. So I want to work with a photographer because I want to post and I want to say that you took the picture city, and that brings you more business. I love creating that community. So while you will see some AI posts that I did all the prompting, so it didn't just make it.
Right,
I did a lot of prompting, but it would be mixed with also local photography or videography because I want to have that sense of community still within my business.
So what would you say to an entrepreneur who may be on one side of the fence and not the other? Like, I have spoken to people who are like, AI is the devil and I'm not doing it. What would you say to that person?
That person works harder.
Yeah.
I got time for that. That person's working harder. They're doing double the work, triple the work. You can't manage because you're not. I mean, obviously, we knew life without it.
Yes.
But knowing life with it, what was life without it?
Right.
I don't remember what it was like.
That's so
you know
funny.
what I mean? You can be irritated. Make this stern.
Yeah.
You know, but make it professional. Make it stern. But, you know, so it's the efficiency of it all. But some people's just not tech savvy.
Yeah.
So some people are still fine with writing stuff on a paper and not using a computer at all. But there's the people in business, unfortunately, that will get left behind.
And for the one that is like, AI all the way, and I think of Timbaland, right? You know, he has this new AI rapper that, like, he's just all in. Like, all the cards are in the AI basket. He's like, I don't even need to talk to people.
See?
I can create my own audio.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
But what would you say to someone who's, like, fully all in on AI?
You still have to have some sense of yourself. And that's the thing. It's funny because people could use this AI and the words still be wrong.
Yeah.
The words still be spelt wrong. They take a letter off. You're so thinking that this robot's so smart or this AI is so smart that you're not even using your human brain to, like, I never use AI to the point that I don't reread what it says because you're not going to have me looking, JP. Just because you're so smart, apparently, I'm going by what you say. I still read over stuff. I look at businesses sometimes and yes, I could tell you use AI. People use AI to make business plans. I'm like, I could tell you use AI. So then you don't really know what's really going on in your business because you're dependent on this AI to create it for you. Now, when I ask you a question, you got to go back to them. You got to have some human self about what you have going on. You cannot 100% have your eggs all in an AI basket. You have to have your own brand sometimes.
Yes, I would agree. Like, AI is a tool, it's a resource for efficiency. Like you said, work smarter, not harder. But yet you are the entrepreneur. It's your business, it's your brand. So you have to control that. You have to decide how much, how little, and all of that. And like you said, don't put it all in that box, because what happens?
And well, I went to AI, it's right.
No. Is it though?
No.
They still working through the kinks. No, look, I really enjoyed having this conversation with you and talking to you about your business, your thoughts around business. We talk on a professional level, right? Working with clients and all of that. But just hearing how you apply some of the knowledge that you have to your own business and how you didn't used to before. So it's nice to see the growth and nice to see the understanding. And I'm sure that translates into the advice that you provide to the clients that you support. So we're going to be wrapping up. So what I'd like you to do is just share with people how they can find out more information about 1111 and any words of encouragement or advice you have for someone who may have gone through a similar process where they had to take a break, and are maybe reconsidering whether they should come back or not.
So 1111 can be found on Instagram at axi.axi.choose.
Okay.
The website is www.axi.choose. You can go now to join the Sales Society. Other than that, we launch 1111 at 1111.
Okay.
That's how that works. My words of encouragement would just be stay true to yourself. Don't underprice yourself based on other people's opinions, because it's a big pool of people out here, right? Mm-hmm. And for me, it's like, if I don't have a seat at the table, I'm just going to bring my folding chair.
Right.
So I'm still there.
Right.
So if anybody is going through business and how to failed business, also transparency. Speak about it, because there's somebody out there that probably needed my message because they thought everything was so great on this side of town, and it wasn't. So just being more transparent in business to let people know when things are good, things are also bad. Mm-hmm. I think the bad is what I want to see more than what you're pretending is so great to me on social media, and just making sure you account for everything. Mm-hmm. I really think I could tell when people don't account. And when businesses fail, it's not that you didn't have a good product or service. It was because you didn't charge your worth and you wasn't able to pay yourself any bills that you also come along with having a business. Yeah. So this would just be my tips to stay true. Because once you're authentic, it's real.
Yeah.
You don't have to pretend. Work hard for that. I don't have to pretend to be anybody that I'm not in business. I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. I want to show you my mistakes, because my mistake may be a lesson that you learn from as well.
Well, all right, now we minded our business today, didn't we?
Yeah.
No, thank you for coming on and sharing a little bit about yourself, because I'm sure people get to see the professional, but they don't know the other part, right? Yeah. So I do appreciate you coming in and sharing that with us today. And then remember, if you don't mind your business,
who will?
All right. Thanks for tuning in to Mind Your Business with me, your host, Jamillah Lodge. Tune in next week, Thursday at 4 p.m. because if you don't mind your business, who will? Mind Your Business is brought to you by BEDC. Bermuda Business starts here.